Here we are in Anduze in the south of France, in the Cevennes. This was the center of the Huguenots during the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century. In fact, Anduze was called the Petit Geneve because so many of the young men trained in Geneva, the refugee center of Europe, came back to the south of France, and Anduze became the center of all of the activity in the south. In fact, the mayor became an earnest five solas Christian, and he actually became a pastor as well. And so there was this little kind of a conflict in people's minds a little bit, at least in the modern world, about a political leader also being a pastor in the community. It also became a center. Anduze here in the south of France became a center of persecution during the wars of religion, the Huguenot wars of religion in the 16th century. Behind me you see the old tower, the keep from the city walls of Anduze that was in place back in the 16th century. So much centered right here. Calvin would write letters to many of his sons, as it were. He and Idelette only had one living child, a son named Jacques, who died shortly after birth. But Calvin considered all of these young men to be trained in the gospel and how to preach and how to exegete the text, proclaim the good news throughout their places, in this case throughout France. He considered them his sons, and many of them wrote letters to him, and he wrote back to them, encouraging them in prison as they would be let out, and many of them burned at the stake. So here we are in the center of Huguenot France, Anduze, the Petit Geneve, the little Geneva in the south of France.